Hi, and welcome to OC Tanner's Culture by Design podcast, where we discuss the research, practices, and strategies to help employees everywhere thrive at work. Today's episode is going to be focused on leaders, specifically how to engage leaders in recognition at your organization. It's going to be hosted by myself, Stephen Saul, and Taylor Hilton. We're both client strategists at OC Tanner, and our role is working with organizations implementing strategies around their recognition program. Now, why are we talking about leaders? Well, we know that leaders really drive culture at organizations. And if there's something that you want to get implemented, well, most organizations are going to lean on their leaders. So, Taylor, I'd love to hear from you why leader-driven recognition really matters.
Well, to kind of set the stage, and why this topic matters so much is when leaders consistently recognize contributions, it builds trust, it drives connection to that leader and the organization, it energizes teams, and it really helps people do their best work. And we know that from our research and the Global Culture Report, that that's all true. And well, we know what the data says. I think we can also draw upon our own experiences as employees where a leader made us feel seen or maybe even missed the opportunity uh, to do so. And I think those moments can kind of stick with us, whether they're good or bad. I can think of a time during onboarding for one of the roles I've had at OC Tanner where a leader formally recognized a small win. And that was during onboarding. I hadn't built that confidence yet. I was still learning, and I wasn't sure if or how I was contributing at that point. And when my leader recognized that small effort, however small it may have been at that time, it kind of gave me that sense of confidence, and I can recall carrying that small bit of momentum throughout the rest of my onboarding journey. And so that's a positive experience I can recall. But Stephen, what's been your experience?
I do recall one unfortunate experience where I really felt unseen. I remember at a separate organization, I put a lot of work into this project. A lot of the background work of organizing teams, getting things together, and once the project was actually completed and we were doing a project recap, I was not acknowledged at all. And I remember that feeling very distinctly of feeling unseen, of feeling unwarranted, even though all I put in all this background work. So conversely, that's always stuck with me.
It wasn't at OC Tanner, right?
No, it was not an LC tender. So when we're looking at leaders and giving recognition, we really see two main barriers as to why they don't recognize enough. Number one is time. We know that leadership is often overburdened, especially middle management, where they've got competing priorities from the top and the bottom. So they're always pulled in so many different directions, and recognition can feel really like a just extra responsibility that
Mhm.
that they don't have time for. And the other aspect is the mindset, is to where the idea that, well, this person is making salary and that's all the recognition that they need. So, how do we overcome those two? Because we know and studies show that recognition is not only valuable for recognition's sake, it's not only valuable for that nice feeling that you get, but there are quantifiable impacts to retention, to attrition, all those aspects, to great work. So we really want to overcome those barriers. So I love to hear an example of maybe a client that actually had issues with this at the start and was able to overcome some of those.
Yeah, well, Norton had a great kind of program but before, but there's a great client story for anyone wanting to read a little bit more about it. But uh, Norton built recognition into their leader tools, training and communication. So they integrated recognition deeper into those facets of their leader experience, all helping to strengthen leader relationships and help employees feel valued. And after some time and after more recognition and adoption from those leaders, Leadership relationship scores increased from the 86th to 99th percentile.
Well, that's a pretty incredible jump right there. 13 percentage points. And I think you all as HR leaders would love to see something like that. And I want to build upon a point that you just mentioned. The helping to make that shift, that mindset shift, and also that time shift. Because you mentioned that Norton added some various integrations for the recognition program, and that's one of the things that we want to highlight, especially because when recognition is into the daily flow of work, where it's not cumbersome to get to, where it's already where they're at, if it's in Outlook or Slack or whatever the case, we want to make it easy for them because that's the way that we really shift that mindset of, okay, I can give recognition. It's easy to give recognition. What's stopping me? So those are some of the challenges. We discussed some of the challenges that you all face in getting leadership to adopt recognition. I'd love to hear some takeaways as to, okay, what can you all do as HR leaders and
Yeah.
some strategies for that.
Yeah, and I like that framework, right? Because we have maybe kind of two main types of barriers. So one's maybe more of a mindset is how do you get people to see the value in investing their time in recognition? Because leaders are so busy. So if they're not seeing the impact and the value that recognition has and how it can kind of up level their teams and them as a leader, they're probably not going to do it, at least not consistently. And then also some of the barriers are more practical. It might not be as easy. It might not feel as seamless. So it's also really important to meet those leaders where they are throughout the regular course of work. And we'll talk a little bit about what some of those integrations or practical solutions are. So here are a few things you can do today, you can do soon, and you can do in the future. So things you can do today, communicate. And don't just raise awareness of the platform, lead with the why. Because the platform is the tool, but like we've kind of been saying, recognition is really a mindset. It's a habit that people can build over time, but they need to see the value. What can you do soon? So understand where there are opportunities and highlight those that are doing it well. Whether it's highlighting leaders in a blog post, a town hall, or leadership newsletter, whatever those channels are at your organization, make sure to celebrate those modeling these behaviors and the impact they're making by doing so. And now, what can you do in the future, in the mid to longer term? Seek ways to integrate recognition deeper into the flow of work, like we just talked about, whether that be Slack, Teams, Outlook, or the mobile app. Meet your employees and leaders in the systems they're in and make giving recognition seamless. Also, look into integrating recognition in your LMS, into your onboarding practices, and even your performance reviews. Like we mentioned before, recognition is a habit. So how can you integrate more with the systems and processes your employees interact with daily? How can you build it into the DNA of your organization? So all in all, the goal isn't just to get leaders to recognize, it's to help them see recognition as a part of what makes them a great leader. So how's that for a soundbite?
I love those examples and those takeaways. And I really want to hit on one point on the do soon, specifically on the town hall aspect of it. That may not seem like much, just giving a shout out as to why recognition is important in a town hall, or if you've got an executive leading that, really discussing or highlighting the value of recognition. But in reality, and I've got a couple clients who actually just simply added a shout out to their annual town halls. But we really see a big uptick in uh, in satisfaction. We see an uptick in actual program engagement from that because again, it's leaders driving that behaviors in it. And if you see an executive do it, well, seems like okay, Taylor, it's okay for you to do it. It's okay for me to do it, right? At the end of the day, when we talk about recognition, it's a lever. You all have your own business goals, you all have your own personal goals, and recognition really can be a lever to help reach those goals. So, to summarize, uh, leaders in recognition, how can we get them involved? What can you all do to help them drive that engagement in the platform? Number one, communicate. Right? Make sure everybody understands the value of recognition, how easy it is. Next, analyze. What are the pockets that are doing it well? What are the pockets that aren't doing it well? What are areas to where, like a town hall, that you can have a relatively easy shout out, right? Just building that momentum, building that mindset. And finally, embed embed recognition into the platforms, into your LMS, into your email suite, just making sure that it is at their flow of work. So by doing all those things, you'll really be able to see that drive and engagement, that increase in engagement, that employee sentiment really go up, and the value of that. You know, anything else to add?
No, I think you captured it all. Thank you, Stephen.
And we'd like to leave you with these parting words. Recognition isn't just about saying thanks. It's about seeing people and celebrating the impact that they make every day. So really, thank you all for listening, and thank you for doing your part in helping employees feel more appreciated.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of OC Tanner's Culture by Design podcast. OC Tanner is the global leader in software and services that improve workplace culture through meaningful employee recognition experiences. If you want your organization to become a place where people can't wait to come to work in the morning, go to octanner.com.